Hey everybody, I'm Nate Ming with Crunchyroll, and I am here with legendary filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, director of Alita, Battle Angel. Some of our viewers may not be as familiar with your filmography.
Yeah.
Let's just name off a couple. El Mariachi.
There's
the big one
was my first
right
$7,000 movie.
Yes.
Then I did a sequel called Desperado.
Yes, great film.
And then a movie called From Dusk Till Dawn, in the mid-90s, with George Clooney and Quentin. And then I did Sin City.
Yes.
And I did some children's films like Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And Machete, Grindhouse, and the upcoming Alita, Battle Angel with Jim Cameron.
Were there any particular titles, like anime or manga or anything like that, that really influenced you while you were making these films or while you were making any of your other films?
Well, I was a cartoonist, so that I think because I drew a lot, I would come up with things that are very visual, like a guy that had a guitar case full of guns, and he played guitar. So just the motifs and the iconography of a guitar case, of a guitar itself, of a mariachi musician, which I always thought they just looked like action heroes. They had these buckles all the way down their legs and short vests. I said, that looks like a cool action character. If I was to draw one, it looks like a cool anime type character. So for me, the guitar case seemed like a million stories, a million songs could happen from every town he goes. Another action he goes into could be another ballad for his songbook. So it allows you to be able to build a series off of a central character. So I think that's why it feels like something you could have in a manga or an anime, because you need a character like that to fuel a whole series.
What vision are you trying to make? Is this like the pure Robert Rodriguez Alita Battle Angel with a splash of the anime, a splash of the manga? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to convey with this film?
Well, this feels more like, Jim Cameron had a take on the story. I really loved what he did with the script. He's someone who very much respects the original material, but has to turn it into a movie story that appeals to all audiences. And so he knows how to make the character's journey a real focus. And so he chose a couple of the novels, maybe 2.5 of them, to find that first story and threw in some motorball. Because anyone who they liked, they would be very disappointed there's no motorball. So he had to grab that from book 4 and put that in there. But found, again, a really cool twist and a very Jim Cameron twist that makes it a very high-stakes way to present it.
Yeah.
That's all character-based. So his emphasis on story was really eye-opening and really kind of put the emphasis in the right place to make it work as a movie story. But then I definitely, even as we were putting animatics together, even if we did some beautifully animated animatics, sometimes nothing could capture a moment more than just a still drawing. You'll see still drawings from the manga just cut in so people go, that one frame tells you everything you need to know about what that whole moment has to be. And it's fun. We still see even the Weta guys as they're doing, well, this kind of matches that frame you cut in. And they show me this action. I'm like, yes, that's it. He can capture so much in a still frame, with movement, with the way the lines go. You can tell that when she catches the motorball that it's shot at her like a cannon, and she has to strong arm it, and her shoulders are going to have to go back. She's going to have to react to it, but then she's going to have to hold it, so that we know how heavy that thing is when she uses it as a weapon. We know that it has a lot of weight, and she has the power to yield it. You got that all from that one drawing.
Oh yeah. This actually ties into my next question. One of my favorite quotes from you is saying, "The technology is not the art." What lessons did you take? You shot El Mariachi on $7,000. There's a famous shot of you sitting in the shopping cart doing a tracking shot. What lessons do you take from those days when you have all this technology at your disposal? You have a workshop, you have Jim Cameron and everybody helping you out with this. What lessons did you take from back in the day to make sure that it's not the technology but the art that comes forward?
Yeah, and what I was saying in that particular instance, is really appropriate, because it's even when you have a lot of technology, that's not what the art form is. I was talking about it specifically then because I was trying to turn other people onto editing their movies digitally. They were still editing on film.
Yeah.
I was the only movie editing digitally on the Sony lot back in '94 in Desperado. And other people would go, what's that machine? They're afraid they were going to lose their job. They go, oh no, I like to edit so I can touch the film. I like the more organic. It's like, organic film doesn't grow on trees. That's a technology. It's just such an old technology. You don't think about it. So technology is not the art form. That means editing doesn't mean you have to edit on a flatbed. It means you could edit with anything, because the art form is actually the manipulation of images to tell a story. You can do that with a computer. You can do it with a pair of scissors and some raw film. That's the technology. That doesn't matter so much. The art form, when you bring it down to its basic root, can mean collaboration is 2 or more people. It doesn't say anything about 500. And if you have a crew of 500, it's very important to, communicate to them what you're actually doing is telling the very organic story that's got to feel real. Otherwise, you're never going to buy the fantasy of it. If it doesn't feel grounded, especially in a Jim Cameron version of a sci-fi, more than my own. My own stuff gets real, whimsical real fast. The guy can pick up a guitar case, fire stuff out of it. Jim would walk on set for that and go, I don't see how that works. That pulls me right out of it. His science fiction is more science fact first. Yeah. And then you can believe everything else, which is really cool. It's much tougher. You need kind of more money for that, which is what we're able to do with this. But it was cool to get into his mindset on how to do it. So this is different than me just doing Battle Angel. This is me doing it after Jim kind of cracked it, and with his discipline towards grounding it, which just makes it a better movie and something you can just buy into.
Okay. So these are going to be quick, rapid fire, off the top of your head. Let's start with an easy one. Favorite anime, top 3, go.
First real one I saw was when I was in college, just around the time I was going to make Mariachi. And that was Akira, and just would go on the big screen seeing it with this college audience. They were just like, what the hell is this thing? It was fun to just keep going, because after you know it, and hearing and seeing everyone else's reaction, wondering what the hell they just saw. That one. And then the other ones are, I can only think of more recent ones that my kids got me into. When they, I would be showing them movies over the years, but as they started discovering, Crunchyroll, they would be showing me stuff that they were super excited about. Like, they couldn't wait to sit me down. And I realized they'd already watched the whole thing several times, whole series. So Attack on Titan. Then my 12, 13, 14-year-old obsessed with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is so
I was like,
late.
hey, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a gift. We're going to get a real subscription to Crunchyroll, so we don't have to watch the commercials. They were sitting there just salivating, waiting, and then I said, we're going to play it on the big screen.
So you can choose any one past project of yours to become a 26-episode anime. What do you choose?
Probably the Desperado series. That's just the easiest. Again, because there's a guy who goes from town to town. Machete also could work, but the visuals of a Mexico that's kind of a made-up Mexico, where it's very good, the bad, and the ugly, style. I made it modern. That way, when I made the movie, I wouldn't have to get horses and all that stuff. It's just, nobody appreciates that money.
It's still pretty timeless, though.
And so I use cars and stuff, so it's cheap. We could do it very inexpensively.
So I think it works. First 6 episodes, or maybe first 5 episodes are El Mariachi, and then the next part of the first half is Desperado, and then the second half would be Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah, and I would go harder into what the original idea was. The idea is, cartels are like the scariest guys in the world, right?
Yeah.
So what are these guys, who are they afraid of?
Yeah.
And that's who they're afraid of, that guy. This guy that supposedly
just Bucho in shadows.
They killed him, and he's a ghost now. He kind of carries a guitar case, and the legend of him spooks them all out, and he comes and does terrible things to them. That's the original character.
Yeah. Okay. So switch that up. You can do a film adaptation of any manga or anime you want. Unlimited budget. Rights are already taken care of. What do you pick?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just so I could work on it. So I could work on it with my kids.
So sick.
Because I was like, wow. My kids and I started a company together called Double R Productions. We've been doing VR stuff together because we all have Double R names. That way I can build a company that they can go on and own once I'm dead and gone. And we've been doing just a ton of shit together. My one son composes, my other son writes stuff. He's from that anime world. He does the VR stuff with me. And if I came home and say, we're doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, they would just go, oh, they'd freak out, and we would just go head into it. It'd be so fun. And they would be like telling me, no, you can't do it like that. You got to do it like this because in this episode.
Oh, yeah.